Do you recall the night? That very, very special night.
If you love real R&B, don't skip this, because the 1960s are hiding bands with million-dollar voices and timeless grooves that most people still haven't heard. Today, we're counting down 10 R&B Lost Soul Bands of the 1960s you need to hear again, with the key details fact-checked and the exact songs you should play first.
As we stroll along together.
Picture late-night AM radio, house party slow dances, church-born harmonies, and live bands so tight the room starts moving before the chorus even hits. Because when these groups get forgotten, we lose the blueprint, how soul became smooth, how funk got its swing, and how modern R&B learned to feel like truth. Stay to the end, because the top few aren't just old classics. They're playlist-changing records that will make you say, how did I miss this my whole life?
I've been trying to get to you for a long time.
Number 10, The Soul Survivors. Expressway to Your Heart. This one feels like stepping into a warm room where everybody's dressed sharp and the speakers are smiling. The groove rolls like a train at midnight, steady, classy, and impossible to stop once it's moving.
I was constantly living on my mind. I was thinking.
Facts and Context, released in July 1967, Expressway to Your Heart was written and produced by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff and came out on Crimson Records. It hit number 3 on the R&B chart and crossed over to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. A real Philly soul takeover moment. Fun fact, it's often pointed to as an early big moment for the Gamble and Huff sound before Philly soul became a whole empire.
About a shortcut I could take, but it seemed.
Why it's forgotten, underrated, they get skipped because the 60s conversation usually goes straight to the biggest Motown names. But this record is grown, clean, and still hits today. Real soul heads keep this one like a secret key. And the next one, different flavor, more dance floor, more fun, but still pure soul. All right, quick pause in the countdown because I need to say this from the heart. If these R&B picks are hitting you, if they're bringing back memories, late night vibes, old playlists, and that feeling you can't explain, then please subscribe to Sexual 69 right now. Not just for you, but because it genuinely helps this channel survive and grow. Every subscribe is like you telling YouTube, yes, this music matters. Keep this kind of content alive. It pushes these forgotten songs back into the light, helps more real R&B lovers find the channel, and lets me keep making deeper, better countdowns for you. So if you want more lists like this, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and drop a comment with the one R&B song that raised you. Let's bring these classics back together.
Hang on, Sloopy, hang on.
Number 9, The Vibrations. My Girl Sloopy. This is that snap your fingers kind of soul, like a packed teen dance show with bright lights and everybody moving at once. It's cheerful, catchy, and built for sing-alongs. Facts and context. The Vibrations recorded My Girl Sloopy in January 1964, and the Atlantic release hit number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100 and top 10 on the R&B chart. Fun fact, their version wasn't the biggest version later on, which is part of why people forget they got there first with the soul version. Why it's forgotten, underrated, they get overshadowed when a later version becomes the most famous. And history starts acting like the earlier hit didn't count. This is deep cut gold. Keep listening, because next is heartbreak soul that sounds like a slow dance you never wanted to end. Number 8, The Artistics, I'm Gonna Miss You. This is clean suit heartbreak, like streetlights outside a window while you're trying not to cry. Smooth vocals, honest feeling, and a hook that stays with you after it ends. I'm Gonna Miss You peaked at number 9 on the R&B chart and crossed to number 55 on the pop chart in 1966, their biggest record. Fun fact, it's the type of record that makes you realize how strong soul music was, even without huge superstar branding. Why It's Forgotten, underrated. They didn't get a long mainstream runway after the big moment, so newer listeners don't get guided back to them. Real heads keep this one like a secret key, and the next group, they had a chorus so sweet, it became a forever classic.
As we stroll along.
Number 7, The Times, So Much in Love. This is pure slow dance magic, like two people in the living room, moving gently while the world disappears. The harmonies feel soft, innocent, and real.
Holding hands.
Released in 1963 on Parkway Records, So Much in Love hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 4 on the R&B chart. Fun fact, it's one of those songs that sounds simple, but that's the trick. The simplicity is the power.
Walking all alone. So in love.
Why It's Forgotten, underrated. People know the song, but don't always know the group, so the band's story gets erased while the record lives on. This is deep cut gold. Keep listening, because next is where soul starts getting louder, longer, and more explosive. Number 6, The Chambers Brothers, Time Has Come Today. This one is a slow build that turns into a storm, like the room getting hotter minute by minute until everybody's locked in. It's soul with psychedelic power, and it feels like history moving.
Time has come today.
Facts and context. The song was featured on The Time Has Come, Nov 1967, and re-released as a single in December 1967 on Columbia, produced by David Rubinson. It became a top 10 near miss, spending 5 weeks at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 in fall 1968.
Young hearts can go that way.
Fun fact, the long album version is famous for stretching the groove like a full spiritual experience. Radio had to trim it down to fit the format. Why It's Forgotten, has underrated because it sits between genres. Too rock for some soul lists, too soul for some rock lists. But it's a classic. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Next up is Philly storytelling at its best. Sweet, smooth, and unforgettable. Number 5, The Intruders, Cowboys to Girls. This sounds like a summer block party turning into a slow dance, warm, playful, and full of that life advice soul. It's grown music, but it still has joy in it.
I remember.
Facts and Context, released in 1968, Cowboys to Girls was written and produced by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff on the Gamble label. It hit number 1 on the R&B chart and number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100.
I remember when I used to play shoot.
Fun fact, it became their biggest hit, and it's still one of the signature songs of early Philly soul storytelling. Why It's Forgotten, underrated.
When I used to play shoot 'em up, hey.
People quote the title like a phrase, but don't always go back and play the record, and that's a shame. This is real craft. This is deep cut gold. And the next record, one of the greatest slow jams ever made before slow jam was even a phrase.
If you stay down.
Number 4, The Dells. Stay in My Corner, 1968 re-recording. This is late night pleading in a tuxedo, big vocals, big emotion, and that feeling like the singer is talking straight to your heart. It's the kind of song that makes a room go quiet. Facts and context. The Dells re-recorded Stay in My Corner in 1968 on Cadet, and that version hit number 1 on the R&B chart and number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Fun fact, the re-recording became the most successful version of their career, proof that sometimes you come back and do it even better.
You make me oh so.
Why It's Forgotten, child, underrated. Because people think classic soul is just background music when it's really a masterclass in vocals and feeling. Real heads, keep this one like a secret key. Now we're getting into the silky stuff. The next group helped define that smooth Philly sound.
Many guys have come to you with a line that wasn't.
Number 3, the Delphonics. La La Means I Love You. Controversy. Pay Off. This is silk, like slow dancing in a soft-lit room where the air feels warm. Those harmonies don't just sing, they float.
True, and you pass them by.
Facts and context. La La Means I Love You hit number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart in 1968. Their debut album, La La Means I Love You, was released in 1968 on Philly Groove, produced by Stan Watson and Tom Bell. Fun fact, this song became so beloved, it got covered by major artists, and later generations discovered the Delphonics again through samples and film placements.
Lines don't mean a thing, why don't you let me try?
Controversy. Pay Off. Remember I told you one group's legacy got complicated after the spotlight? Here it is. In interviews and retrospectives, it's been said the Delphonics eventually split and members continued performing over the years. So fans sometimes ran into different lineups and different eras of the name. That's not about drama for drama's sake. This is about how the music industry can stretch a legacy across decades while the original moment gets blurred.
Let me try. Now I don't wear a dime.
And that's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. Why It's Forgotten, underrated. People know the hook, but don't always run the catalog. And the catalog is gorgeous. This is deep cut gold. Next up is Sunshine Soul, one of those songs that makes the whole day feel lighter. Number 2, The Friends of Distinction, Grazing in the Grass. This is daylight music, windows down, warm breeze, and a smile you can hear. It feels like a beautiful afternoon where nothing bad can reach you.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig what is real?
Facts and context. Their vocal version came out in 1969 on RCA Victor, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 5 on the R&B chart.
Watching as the world goes past.
Fun fact, it's a vocal remake of an earlier instrumental hit, but their version became its own pop soul classic.
There are so many great things to see while gazing in the grass.
Why It's Forgotten, underrated, because happy soul gets treated like lightweight music when it actually takes real craft to sound this effortless. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. And number 1, no vocals needed. This groove taught the world how funk and soul can talk without words. All right, quick pause in the countdown because I need to say this from the heart. If these R&B picks are hitting you, if they're bringing back memories, late night vibes, old playlists, and that feeling you can't explain, then please subscribe to Sexual 69 right now. Not just for you, but because it genuinely helps this channel survive and grow. Every subscribe is like you telling YouTube, yes, this music matters. Keep this kind of content alive. It pushes these forgotten songs back into the light, helps more real R&B lovers find the channel, and lets me keep making deeper, better countdowns for you. So if you want more lists like this, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and drop a comment with the one R&B song that raised you. Let's bring these classics back together. Number 1, The Meters, Sissy Strut. This is New Orleans on wax-tight drums, perfect pocket, and a groove that makes your head nod on autopilot. It feels like a band so confident they don't need to explain anything. Released in 1969 on Josie, Sissy Strut hit number 4 on the R&B chart and number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's credited to the band members and produced by Alan Toussaint and Marshall Sehorn. Fun fact, decades later, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame because the groove never aged. Why It's Forgotten, underrated instrumentals don't always get the star treatment, even when they influence everybody. But this record is a blueprint. This is deep cut gold. If this list woke something up in you, trust me, we can go even deeper into the 60s and beyond.